Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wildcat Game Day Preview. I'm your host, Ryan Choe, and here with me today is analyst Matthew Coronado. Matthew, thank you for joining me, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I'm feeling excited based on Northwestern's first two games of the season. The Cats are on an undefeated streak to start the season and are set to host Nebraska this Saturday back at Ryan Field at 11 a.m. And the team is coming off an extremely impressive rally against Iowa on Halloween. So, Matthew, I'm wondering, how did Pat Fitzgerald and this team come back from 17-0 and capture a victory treat?
Now, I love to talk about the comeback, but first we got to talk about what Northwestern did wrong in the first half. And I think mostly it had to do with the mistakes that they were making. You had the muffed punt along with Ramsey's fumble on his QB draw. These takeaways made it really easy for the Iowa offense to score touchdowns. And you could blame the defense, but there's not a whole lot they could do when the ball is already in Northwestern territory. So in the first quarter, they were obviously off to a bad start. Now, to talk about that comeback, I think it started in the second quarter when the Wildcats were able to buckle down and they actually turned to their run game to help them out in the second quarter. 23 of their 26 plays were runs. And now what that did actually was open up the pass game for Peyton Ramsey to take over in the second half. He was able to light it up through the air and convert third downs 10 out of 19 on the day. And that helped the Wildcats rally back in the second half. And I think it's perfectly encapsulated, Ryan, by Pat Fitzgerald's press conference, where he said that it was a resilient win by this team. And I think that's the perfect word. They were resilient, they did not give up, and they were able to pull it back in the second half, showing that they were the better team.
Yes, most definitely, Matthew. And like you said, I mean, just a true display of resilience by that squad to just hold the Hawkeyes scoreless that entire second half. And like you said, also just keep converting some first downs and getting some momentum back on their side. Meanwhile, this week's opponent, Nebraska, they lost in week one to now third-ranked Ohio State. And the team is coming off an unexpected bye week after their game against Wisconsin was canceled due to a COVID-19 outbreak among Wisconsin's program. But Matthew, what is it that the Cats need to watch out for when it comes to this Nebraska team? And do you think rust will be a factor in this game for the Cornhuskers?
I think that there's two ways that you can look at it. You can look at it as that they're gonna have some rust, or you can look at it as they might be rested and they might be ready to take on the Wildcats this week better than they could have. They're going to be hungry after that first week one loss to Ohio State, 52-17. But we'll have to see on Saturday if that rust is going to be real or not. Now, in terms of the weapons that Nebraska has a two-quarterback system. They have one quarterback, Adrian Martinez, a 3-year starter, who is their passing quarterback. He gets it done through the air. And they also have Luke McCaffrey, the brother of Christian McCaffrey, and also the brother of Dylan McCaffrey, the starter at the University of Michigan. He is their running quarterback. So they have that duality at quarterback that's going to be tough for the Wildcats to handle. And if you remember, last year, the Wildcats played Indiana, and Indiana also had a dual quarterback system. They lit them up for 400 yards and 34 points. And one of those quarterbacks was our very own Peyton Ramsey. So the Wildcats have had trouble with this type of offense in the past. And so they're going to have to contain